So let's talk about the Russian naval blockade that's going on in the Black Sea. Yeah, that naval blockade that is impeding all those ships laden with wheat and barley and oats and all the rest of it. That's preventing all those ships that are from leaving Ukraine to go and feed the rest of the world. Let's talk about that Russian blockade. Oh, right, we can't because there is no Russian blockade. There is a Zelensky regime blockade, yeah, but not a Russian one because the Russians aren't blockading the various ports of Ukraine on the Black Sea. It's the Ukrainians that are preventing the ships laden with some wheat from exiting those ports. They're prohibiting some of them, and also there's the practical issue that the Ukrainians mined all that area of the Black Sea. And one of the big problems is that these mines were very old, and so the tethers holding them in position, they broke. And some of these mines are just floating around in the Black Sea. They're causing all kinds of problems, okay? The Turks, in particular, are really pissed off about it because they have to deal with that. And it's dangerous, of course it is, right? And some of these mines are washing up on the beaches, and that's actually good because then it's relatively easy to handle them, right? But when there's some random mine that the Ukrainians put into the Black Sea floating around, it could cause all kinds of havoc, and it's not easy to capture one of them and pull it out, and make sure that you don't get blown up in the effort to fix the situation. Oh man, Jesus, it's like every time I do a goddamn video, the air raid siren goes off. Anyway. Some people say that I have like a button that I'm making the sound of the air raid siren. Oh God, man, copium. It's a hell of a drug. Anyway, why am I talking about this thing? Oh, by the way, just to finish off the story, see, the Russians, they understand how Ukrainian grain is very necessary for the people of the Middle East and Africa. It's actually not that important to Western Europe. It is important, but not so important as it is to the Middle East and North Africa, Egypt in particular, because they depend on Ukrainian grain. Now, the shipments are being blocked by the Zelensky regime, not by the Russians. And the Russians, all day long, they are telling people that they have established a humanitarian corridor through the Black Sea so that ships can leave the Odessa port and the other ports that the Zelensky regime controls, so that these ships can go through these humanitarian corridors to the Black Sea and deliver their goods to the people who need them. So the Russians are not creating problems here. It's a lie. It's another lie. It's a PR lie. And this is the point I wanted to make. See, I don't really want to talk about this blockade because it's bullshit. There is no Russian blockade. It's the Ukrainians who are causing problems, and now they are spinning it. And here's the issue. You see, all of this spin, what is it? What's going on? Because spin is basically lies, and you lie in order to hide something, hide some truth. What's the lie that they are trying to hide insofar as spinning this ridiculous narrative that it's the Russian blockade that is preventing foodstuffs from getting to the various customers? Well, the lie is so as to explain the problems with agriculture in the West that have been building over the past couple of years. In fact, some of the problems even predate the COVID pandemic and lockdown. And some of the problems in industrial agriculture and the system of agriculture and how big industry has taken over so much of American agriculture in particular and created problems of scarcity so that these mega corporations that own the farmland can make more money. And that's what's really going on. And see, these mega companies that have got into agriculture in a big, big way, right? They have been manipulating their position in order to make more money. And that's why a lot of foodstuffs over the last 2-3 years have been going up in price, and especially as of late. And of course, the issue of the inflation brought about because of the Biden bucks, The inflation brought about because there has indeed been a problem with the food supply coming out of Ukraine, because due to this conflict, the spring planting did not happen, or didn't happen in a wide swath of the country. And so come the fall, there's going to be a severe shortfall of food. So, a lot of things are going on. And a lot of these problems are the responsibility of the Americans and the Europeans who may have mismanaged their position. Of course, the sanctions did not do them any favor now, did they? And so, because of all of this, because of these different problems that were self-inflicted in many cases, well, the Western governments, and particularly the United States, is finding it very useful to have the Russians as the whipping boy insofar as the problems that they themselves created. And so they're blaming the Russians. And they're creating this bullshit narrative that there is a naval blockade in the Black Sea to prevent food supplies from getting to the West. And by the way, even if the food supplies were able to roll out without any problem from all these ports, it still would not affect the increasing prices of foodstuffs in Europe and the United States. It wouldn't have an impact at all, because there are other problems, particularly oil. That's the real problem, because you do have to keep in mind, insofar as industrial agriculture is concerned, oil is one of the biggest consumables of modern agriculture. You need oil for the farm equipment. You need oil to transport the foodstuffs from the farm to the cities or the distribution points. So it's not the Russians, but they're blaming the Russians. And see, this is the thing that you have to understand. When you start hearing these lies, you have to figure out quickly, why are they lying? Who are they trying to protect? Whose responsibility they are trying to deflect from? Because that's what's going on. See, back in, when was it, 2015, 2016, when the Democratic National Committee emails got leaked, Hillary Clinton and her whole cabal blamed the Russians. The Russians did it. The Russians didn't have anything to do with it. But they blamed the Russians because it was easy. It was easy to pin it all on the Russians. What are they going to do? Are they going to show up and say, no, we didn't do it? No. Even if they did, no one would believe them. You see? You see how perfectly it works? You blame somebody whom you have spent so much time disqualifying that whatever they say, nobody's going to believe them, even when they're telling the truth. Understand what's going on? It's sad and unfortunate, but, well, there you are.